What's up, radio fans? This is Big Al. It is now Saturday, October 24th, 2020, and we are continuing our series of the AM and FM radio stations across the country. And today, I decided to take this edition back home to my old stomping grounds, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now, I listen to pretty much every radio station in Grand Rapids. Few from Kalamazoo, few from Muskegon. We'll be including those cities as well as Battle Creek on this list. So I got about 7 pages or so worth of info to tell you about. And radio has definitely changed, especially up here in Grand Rapids. You had 2 long-running country stations switch formats. One becoming a simulcast of a well-known news talker. One station recently flipped to an urban contemporary format, which gives us our first hip-hop station, full-time hip-hop station that is, in Grand Rapids. And a long-running Christian institution known as WFUR-FM keeps the religious format but is sold to a Christian broadcasting network after 60 years of local ownership. Oh, and I also want to say that this is also the city that's home to 3 Class B grandfather superpower radio stations and 2 of the most powerful stations as far as effective radiated power is concerned broadcasts here in Grand Rapids, and there's a 3rd also that broadcasts here in Grand Rapids. So I will tell you about all of that and tell you what a superpower Class B grandfather station is as we go on this list. So strap in. This is going to be fun to go back home again. So let's get right to it, shall we? Kicking things off with AM 590 WKZO Kalamazoo. That, of course, is derived from the call sign of the CBS television station, which broadcasts from Kalamazoo, but is now known as WWMT. This station is known as News Radio 590 and 106.9 FM WKZO. Everything Kalamazoo is their slogan. This is a news talk station with news updates from CBS News and programming from both Westwood One and the Premier Radio Networks. WKZO is the Kalamazoo affiliate for Detroit Lions football, Detroit Red Wings hockey. I have my Red Wings jersey on as of now. And Detroit Tigers baseball. This station is owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated and operates an FM translator station in Kalamazoo at 106.9 W295CL. 810 is WMJH, Rockford. This is a Grand Rapids suburb to the north of town. They're known as La Poderosa, Consentimiento Mexicano. This is a regional Mexican station owned by Cynthia Cano and licensed by Cano's Broadcasting Corporation, LLC. WMJH is a daytime-only station required to sign off at sundown, but they do operate an FM translator station in Grand Rapids at 93.3 W227CG, which allows WMJH's programming to air 24 hours a day 7 days a week, even after 810 goes off the air. AM 850 broadcasting in high definition is WGVS AM, Muskegon. Real Oldies 1480 and 850. The way oldies are meant to be heard. This is a non-commercial station playing oldies with programming from National Public Radio. WGVS AM is owned by Grand Valley State University and is the simulcast partner of main station WGVU AM 1480, licensed to the Grand Rapids suburb of Kentwood, Michigan. 930 is WFAT, Battle Creek. Fat One 102.7. This station airs a classic hits format from Midwest Communications Incorporated. They operate FM translator station W274AQ 102.7 FM, also licensed to Battle Creek. 980 is WAKV, Otsego, Michigan. AM 980, the Memory Station. They play a mix of oldies and adult standards music, with programming from the Great Lakes Radio Network and the USA Radio Network. This station is owned by Vintage Radio Enterprises, LLC. Sorry about that. 1090 is WKBZ Muskegon. News Talk 1090, the talk of Muskegon. This is a news talk station owned by iHeartMedia. WKBZ is a daytime-only station required to sign off at sundown, but their programming repeats 24 hours a day on sister station WOOD FM 106.9, also licensed to Muskegon. 1140. This is a station that I listened to growing up when it was an urban adult contemporary station known as KWM. They're now known as WVHF Kentwood. WVHF 1140 AM, your local Catholic voice. This is a Catholic talk station owned by Holy Family Radio. WVHF is also a daytime-only station required to sign off the air at sundown. Programming is rebroadcast on WSPB 89.7 FM, Bedford, Michigan. That's in the Battle Creek portion of the market. And WVAV 91.5 FM in Kalamazoo. They operate an FM translator station in Grand Rapids at 98.3 W252DG. 1220 is WBCH AM, Hastings. News Talk 1220. This is a news talk station with news updates and programming from the Michigan Radio Network. They are owned by Berry Broadcasting. Of course, Hastings is a city in Berry County, Michigan, which is south and east of Grand Rapids. 1230, broadcasting in high definition, is WTKG Grand Rapids. AM 1230 WTKG, the talk of Grand Rapids. This is a news talker with news updates from ABC News. Programming from Premier Radio Networks, Dow Global, Compass Medium Networks, and the Michigan Radio Network. WTKG will air Detroit Tigers baseball and Detroit Red Wings hockey if there's a scheduling conflict with sister station WMAX FM. WTKG is owned by iHeartMedia, and speaking of WMAX, WTKG's programming is repeated on WMAX FM 96.1 HD2, which is licensed to Holland. 1260 is WPNW, Zeeland, Michigan. This is down by Holland. They're known as Joy Worship 96.5 and 98.9. This station broadcasts a contemporary worship music format owned by Lancer Broadcasting. And they operate translator stations W243BD at 96.5 and W255DI at 98.9, both licensed to Zeeland. 1300 is WOOD AM, Grand Rapids, one of the oldest radio stations in West Michigan, on the air since 1924. News Radio 1300 and 106.9 WOOD, West Michigan's news, talk, and weather. This is a news talk station with news updates from Fox News Radio, CBS News, and programming from Premier Radio Networks, the Talk Radio Network, and the Michigan Radio Network. WOOD AM is the Grand Rapids affiliate of the Michigan IMG Sports Network. So that means you'll be hearing Michigan Wolverines football and men's basketball on WOOD AM. This is also the Grand Rapids affiliate, one of two Grand Rapids affiliates, I should say, of Detroit Tigers baseball. They primarily air games that begin before 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and they air weekday games that are aired after 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and they air every single weekend game. WOOD AM is owned by iHeartMedia and is simulcast on WOOD FM 106.9 in Muskegon. 1340 is WJRW, Grand Rapids, The Ticket, West Michigan's sports radio network. This is the Grand Rapids affiliate of CBS Sports Radio. And they are also the Grand Rapids affiliate for Detroit Lions football, as well as the Michigan State Spartans. Mainly their football and men's basketball games are aired on WJRW, which is owned by Cumulus Media. Their programming is simulcast to the Muskegon area on WBBL 1490 AM, which is licensed to Whitehall. And they operate FM translator station W291DJ in Grand Rapids at 106.1 FM. Now, before the original sports format moved to FM, 1340 was the home of the WBBL call sign. When Cumulus decided to move the sports format to FM, they launched a news talk station on 1340 and renamed the call sign WJRW. Which pretty much, and they got that call sign from WJR in Detroit, with the extra W added on the end, meaning West Michigan. 1360 is WKMI, Kalamazoo, Talk Radio 1360. This is a news talk station and the Kalamazoo affiliate of Grand Valley State Lakers football. WKMI is owned by Town Square Media. 1370 is WGHN, Grand Haven, Michigan. Oldies 94.9. They broadcast an oldies format with programming from Michigan Radio Network. They are owned by Will Timon and licensed by WGHN Incorporated. They operate an FM translator station in Grand Haven at 94.9 FM W235 CM. Right next door to them at 1380 is WGLM AM Greenville, M1063 and M1380. The music you know, the information you need. This is a full-service adult hits radio format with programming from the Michigan Radio Network. This station is owned by Packer Radio and is simulcast on WGLM FM 106.3, licensed to Lakeview, Michigan. 1400 is WBFN Battle Creek, Family Life Radio, broadcasting a religious format programming from Family Life Radio. And they are, of course, the owners of this station, officially known as the Family Life Broadcasting System. 1410 is WNWZ, Grand Rapids, Magic 104.9, West Michigan's #1 for hip-hop and R&B. So this station just recently tweaked its format because they used to be urban adult contemporary. They are now a straight urban contemporary station owned by Town Square Media. So they just gave us our first full-time hip-hop station in Grand Rapids. Their programming is repeated on sister station WLHT 95.7 HD2 in Grand Rapids, and they operate translator station W285FO at 104.9 FM, also licensed to Grand Rapids. 1430 is WION, Ionia, Michigan, I-1430, America's biggest little radio station. I think they had 2 other slogans. I didn't want to fit them all on here. This is a full-service adult hits formatted station with news updates and programming from both CBS News and CBS Radio. This station is owned by Packer Radio, WION LLC. They operate a pair of translator stations, both licensed in Ionia, Michigan. W224BZ 92.7 FM and W262DN 100.3 FM. 1440 is WKPR Kalamazoo, the Good News Station. This is a religious programming format, and they have programming supplied by sister station WFUR AM Grand Rapids, which we'll be talking about here in just a little bit. WKPR is owned by Kuiper Stations. 1450 is WHTC Holland, 99.7 and 1450 WHTC. Real News Now. This is a news talk station owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated. They are the Holland affiliate for both the Detroit Tigers and the Detroit Lions, as well as the Detroit Red Wings. So Tigers baseball, Lions football, and Red Wings hockey all play on WHTC. They operate FM translator station W259CO 99.7 FM, licensed to Holland. 1480, broadcasting in high definition, is WGVU AM, Kentwood. Real Oldies 1480 and 850, the way oldies are meant to be heard. This is a non-commercial oldies radio station with programming from National Public Radio. They are owned by Grand Valley State University, whose main campus is located west of Grand Rapids in the town of Allendale. But their studios and offices are downtown on the GVSU campus in downtown Grand Rapids. That's a tongue twister. Okay, 1520 is WRCI, Three Rivers. River Country 97.1. This is a classic country station programming from the Michigan Radio Network. They are owned by Impact Radio and operates translator station W246BW on 97.1 FM, Three Rivers. 1530 is WYGR, Wyoming, Michigan. This is a Grand Rapids suburb. Jethro FM, Country with a Twist. They broadcast a classic country format, which is locally owned by WYGR LLC. This is a daytime only station, so they are required to go off the air at sundown, but they operate 2 FM translator stations. Both are the source of the brand Jethro FM. W235BN 94.9 FM is licensed to Grand Rapids, and W258DF 99.5 FM is licensed to the far east Grand Rapids suburb of Lowell, Michigan. 1560 is WTOU Portage. This is a suburb of Kalamazoo. They're known as The Touch, today's R&B and old school. They broadcast an urban adult contemporary format, which is owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated. WTOU is also a daytime only station required to leave the air at sundown. But they operate FM translator station W238AL 95.5 FM, also licensed to Portage. 1570 is WFUR AM, Grand Rapids. They're known as WFUR Classic. They air a religious format which is owned by Furniture City Broadcasting Corporation. Although the Kuipers do own this station. They operate FM translator station W225BL 92.9 FM, Grand Haven. Alright, 3 more stations to go on the AM band. 1590 is WTVB Coldwater. AM 1590 and FM 95.5 WTVB, the voice of Branch County. This is a full-service classic hits radio station with programming from Westwood One's Classic Hits Total. They're owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated and operates an FM translator station in Coldwater at 95.5 FM W238 CD. 1660 is WQLR Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo's 1660 The Fan. This is the Fox Sports Radio affiliate in Kalamazoo, airing a sports format of course, and the Kalamazoo affiliate of the Michigan IMG Sports Network. So if you're driving down West Edge Avenue, want to hear the Wolverines play football or men's hoops, turn on 1660 The Fan. This station is owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated. And finishing off the AM band is 1680 WPRR AM, Ada, Michigan. This is east of the city of Grand Rapids. They recently just flipped formats from public reality radio to 102.5 The Ride, today's R&B. So this is now an urban adult contemporary station, which is owned by Goodrich Radio LLC. They operate 2 FM translator stations in the Grand Rapids area. W237CZ 95.3 is licensed to Grand Rapids, and the main source of the station's branding, W273DD at 102.5 FM, is technically licensed to Alpine Township. So that's the AM side of the dial. Now let's jump to the FM side, starting with the traditional non-commercial band. 88.1 Channel 201 is WYCE, Wyoming, Michigan. 88.1 WYCE. Independent Community Radio for West Michigan. They have two slogans on this station. Their first slogan is A World of Music. Their second slogan is Listener-Sponsored, Volunteered, Powered. This is an adult album alternative community radio station owned by the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. 88.5 Channel 203, broadcasting in high definition, is WGVU FM Allendale. WGVU Radio, your local NPR station. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is news talk during the day and jazz during the night. Programming is supplied by National Public Radio and Public Radio International. WGVU FM is owned by Grand Valley State University and is simulcast on WGVS FM 95.3 in Whitehall, Michigan. Now, Grand Valley State University also airs, or not airs, but also owns PBS member stations WGVU TV Channel 35 in Grand Rapids and its Kalamazoo satellite WGVK TV Channel 52. There are two stations on 88.9, but one is a dual frequency station, so we'll start with that one first. 88.9 Channel 205, that is WBLU Grand Rapids. And then 90.3 Channel 212 is WBLV Twin Lake, Michigan. These two stations are known as Blue Lake Public Radio. They broadcast classical music, jazz, and news talk with programming from NPR, and both stations are owned by the Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp, located in Twin Lake, Michigan, outside of Muskegon. The other station on 88.9 Channel 205 is a standalone, WHEY, North Muskegon. Hey 88.9 The Edge. This is a Christian alt-rock station owned by the Muskegon Community Radio Broadcast Company. 89.1 Channel 206 is WIDR Kalamazoo. 89.1 WIDR, your station for Radio Evolution. This is the college-run variety radio station from Western Michigan University, whose main campus is located in Kalamazoo. 89.3 Channel 207 is WGNB Zeeland, Moody Radio West Michigan. They broadcast a religious format with programming from the Moody Broadcasting Network, and they are owned, of course, by the Moody Bible Institute of Chicago. 89.5 Channel 208 is WOFR Schoolcraft. This is in the Kalamazoo area. Family Radio, broadcasting a Christian talk and religious format from Oakland, California-based Family Stations Incorporated. 89.7 Channel 209 is WNHG Grand Rapids. Strong Tower Radio, where God's character is proclaimed. This is also a Christian/religious format with programming from Strong Tower Radio. They are owned by West Central Michigan Media Ministries. 89.9 Channel 210 is WTHS Holland. 89.9 WTHS FM, the voice of Hope College. Owned, of course, by Holland-based Hope College, This is an alternative rock station. 90.1 Channel 211 has a pair of stations. The first is WPRR-FM, Clyde Township, Michigan. This is in Allegan County, by the way. Public Reality Radio. This is the free-form format with programming from Pacifica Radio, which was discontinued on 1680 AM and now runs full-time on 90.1. This station has no official owner, but I wrote down Goodrich Radio LLC just in case, since they were the ones that owned Public Reality Radio when it was on 1680. The other station on 90.1 airs to the Battle Creek area, WYBA Coldwater. They're part of the Bible Broadcasting Network, airing a religious format from the Bible Broadcasting Network, which also owns the station. 90.9 Channel 215 is WSLI Belding. This is in Montcalm County, northeast of Grand Rapids. They're known as Smile FM, Michigan's positive hits. They broadcast a contemporary Christian music format with programming from Smile FM, which originates from WLGH FM out of Lansing. They're owned by Superior Communications. 91.3 Channel 217 is WCSG Grand Rapids. 91.3 WCSG, family-friendly, commercial-free. This is a Christian adult contemporary station owned by Grand Rapids-based Cornerstone University. Their programming is rebroadcast on 3 stations in West Michigan. WCXK 88.3 in Kalamazoo, WCXB 89.9 Benton Harbor, and WCFG 90.9 in Springfield, Michigan, which airs to the Battle Creek area. 91.7 Channel 219 is WMCQ Muskegon. They're a part of the AFR Talk Network, which is a conservative-leaning religious talk station with programming from American Family Radio, owned by their parent company, American Family Association. And then 91.9 Channel 220, as we wrap up the non-commercial band, there are 2 stations on this frequency. The first station is WDPW Greenville. This airs to the immediate Grand Rapids area. Power 91.9, The People's Choice. This is an urban contemporary gospel station owned by Larlin Communications Incorporated. The other station airs to both Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. That's WMJC, Richland, Michigan. Calvary Radio Network, the truth heard in black and white. They offer a mix of Christian talk and modern praise and worship music. Programming supplied, of course, by Calvary Radio Network, who just so happens to own the station. Calvary Radio Network Incorporated. Alright, now to the commercial band. 92.1 Channel 221 is WGHN FM Grand Haven. 92.1 FM WGHN, Grand Haven's favorite. This is an adult contemporary station owned by Will Timon and licensed by WGHN LLC, or not LLC, but WGHN Incorporated. .5 Channel 223 has 2 stations. The first airs to Muskegon, That's WWSN Nuevo. Sunny 92.5, airing an adult contemporary format owned by Cumulus. And the other station airs to the Kalamazoo area. WZUU, Mattawan, Michigan. They're known as Rock 92.5 The Zoo. And of course, they spelled zoo, Z-U-U. Kalamazoo's Real Rock and Your Local Music Authority are the two slogans on this station. They broadcast a mainstream rock format from Form Communications. 92.7 Channel 224 is WYVN, Saugatuck. This is in Allegan County along Lake Michigan, south of Holland. They're known as 92.7 The Van, Holland's classic hits. So judging by the slogan, this is a classic hits station owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated. 93.1 Channel 226 is WMPA, Ferrisburg. This is another lakeshore community. They're known as Classic Rock 93.1, airing a classic rock format owned by WGHN Incorporated. Sorry about that. Dropped something back there. Okay, 93.7 Channel 229. Broadcasting in high definition is WBCT Grand Rapids. B93, Michigan's number one for new country. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is country music. HD2 is classic country. This station is owned by iHeartMedia. And this station also has the distinction of being the most powerful radio station in North America as far as effective radiated power is concerned. WBCT operates with an effective radiated power of 320,000 watts. From their 800 feet up from an 1,100-foot transmitter tower in Gun Lake, Michigan, which is used by Grand Rapids CBS television station WWMT-TV Channel 3. This makes them a Class B grandfathered superpower station by the Federal Communications Commission. Since this station did sign on the air before these requirements went into effect, they are authorized to broadcast at those 320,000 watts. Their ERP was granted before the Federal Communications Commission set maximum guidelines for FM stations. As you know, under the current bylaws by the FCC, the most power that an FM radio station can transmit is 100,000 watts. But again, since this station did come on the air before these requirements were put in place, they're allowed to broadcast at 320,000 watts. This is the first of 3 Class B superpower grandfathered radio stations in the Grand Rapids metro area. If they were not grandfathered, however, the effective radiated power for this station under the current FCC rules would be 20,000 watts, 16 times lower than where they operate now. Food for thoughts. Again, this is the first of 3 Class B superpower grandfathered radio stations in Grand Rapids. One of them is a sister station to WBCT, and the other is a non-commercial station, and I'll tell you about those two a little later on. 94.5 Channel 233 is WKLQ, Holland, Michigan. The Q, 94.5, it's different here. They broadcast an adult album alternative format owned by Cumulus Media. 94.7 Channel 234 is WCVM, Branson, Michigan. This station is part of the WBCL radio network, which airs contemporary Christian music and is owned and operated by Taylor University, which is based in a town outside of Fort Wayne. And this is a rebroadcaster of WBCL 90.3 FM in Fort Wayne. 95.3 Channel 237 is WBCK Battle Creek. 95.3 WBCK, Battle Creek's news talk leader. This is a news talk station with updates from Fox News Radio and the Michigan Radio Network. Programming is also supplied by Michigan Radio Network. WBCK is owned by Town Square Media. 95.7 Channel 239, broadcasting in high definition, is WLHT-FM, Grand Rapids. Mix 95.7, today's variety. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is Hot Adult Contemporary. And then on HD2 is the Urban Contemporary simulcast of WNWZ AM 1410, also known as Magic 104.9. WLHT-FM is owned by Town Square Media, and this was the previous home of WZZM-FM. Of course, the people that owned WZZM TV Channel 13, which is one of two ABC stations in Grand Rapids, they purchased this station in 1965, changed the call sign to WZZM FM, and featured a country music format before flipping to a very successful top 40 format. 95.9 Channel 240 is WLKM FM Three Rivers. The Mix, today's hits and yesterday's favorites. This station is owned by Impact Radio and features an adult contemporary format. 96.1 Channel 241, broadcasting in high definition, is WMAX FM Holland. 96.1 ESPN, West Michigan's new choice for sports. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is, of course, Sports Talk. This is the Grand Rapids affiliate of ESPN Radio, and they also have Fox Sports Radio programming, in particularly The Herd with Colin Cowherd, which is heard middays on 96.1 ESPN. WMAX-FM is the Grand Rapids affiliate for Detroit Pistons basketball and Detroit Red Wings hockey. This station also airs Detroit Tigers games, mainly weekday games that start before 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And then on their HD2 side channel is the news talk format of sister station WTKG 1230. WMAX-FM is owned by iHeartMedia. 96.5 Channel 243 is WZOX Portage. This airs to Kalamazoo and Battle Creek primarily. 96.5 Jack FM, playing what we want. This is a variety hit station owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated. 96.9 Channel 245, broadcasting in high definition, is WLAV-FM Grand Rapids. Classic rock, 97 LAV-FM. They do have a slogan that they use quite a bit throughout their history. The legend continues. I didn't write that down for some reason. I just felt like saying it. Alright, main FM, analog signal, and HD1 is classic rock, and there are no additional subchannels. WLAV-FM is owned by Cumulus Media. 97.5 Channel 248, also owned by Cumulus Media, is WLAW, Whitehall, Michigan. This airs to the Muskegon area. 97.5 Nash Icon. They offer a country music format, and again, they're owned by Cumulus. 97.9 Channel 250, broadcasting in high definition, is WGRD-FM, Grand Rapids. 97.9 GRD rocks. The main FM analog signal and HD1 is mainstream rock. And then on HD2, according to RadioStationWorld.com, is a classic rock station known as Classic Rewind 99.1, which is supposedly on an FM translator station at 99.1, but neither Radio Station World nor Wikipedia mentions it. So I don't have that translator call sign for you. WGRD-FM is owned by Town Square Media. 98.3 Channel 252 is WLCS, North Muskegon. Classic Hits 98.3, the greatest hits of all time. This is a classic hits radio station with programming from the station's owner, Cumulus Media. 98.5 Channel 253 is WNWN, Coldwater, Michigan. This airs to the Battle Creek area. Win 98.5, Your Country. This is a country music station owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated. And this would pretty much be the country music station of record for Kalamazoo as well. Well, one of them, because they would also get B93 out of Grand Rapids also. 98.7 Channel 254, broadcasting in high definition, is WFGR Grand Rapids. 98.7 WFGR, classic hits. So as they mentioned in their slogan, they are a classic hits radio station, which airs on its FM analog signal and on HD1, with no additional subchannels. They're owned by Town Square Media. 99.3 Channel 257 is WJQK Zeeland. Joy 99.3, encouraging your life. This station broadcasts a Christian CHR format, which is owned by Lancer Broadcasting. 100.1 Channel 241, or rather Channel 261, has a pair of stations. First is WBCH FM Hastings, WBCH 100.1 FM, the world's best country hits. This is a country music station owned by Berry Broadcasting. The other station is WVIB Holton, Michigan. This airs to Muskegon. V100, today's R&B and old school. This is an urban adult contemporary station with programming supplied by the Touch Network from Cumulus Media, which also owns WVIB. 100.5 Channel 263 is WTRV, licensed to the Grand Rapids suburb of Walker, Michigan. 100.5 The River, light and relaxing. This station plays a gold-leaning, soft adult contemporary format plus Christmas music during the holidays. So this is pretty much Easy 105.7. This is pretty much what Easy 105.7 was back in the day. WTRV is owned by Town Square Media. 100.9 Channel 265 is WQXC FM Allegan. Cool 101, the oldies station. Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. This is an oldies formatted station owned by Form Communications, the same people that own 92.5 The Zoo. Speaking of rock stations, 101.3 Channel 267, broadcasting in high definition, is WBFX Grand Rapids. 101.3 The Brew. The Brew rocks. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is mainstream rock. And on HD2 is an active rock / metal station known as Full Metal Jackie. WBFX is owned by iHeartMedia, and this is the Grand Rapids affiliate of Western Michigan Broncos football and men's basketball. And we're staying on the rock theme with 101.7 Channel 269, also broadcasting in high definition. That's WMRR, Muskegon Heights. Rock 101.7, rocking the Lakeshore. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is classic rock, and then HD2 is iHeart 80s. This is a station you can find on the iHeart Radio app that plays nothing but 80s music. WMRR is owned by iHeartMedia. 102.1 Channel 271, also broadcasting in high definition, is WMUK Kalamazoo. They're known as 102.1 WMUK Kalamazoo Public Radio. The main FM analog signal and HD1 airs news talk during the day and jazz at night and weekends with programming from National Public Radio. And then HD2 is the classical music format that previously aired on the main station. WMUK, judging by the call sign, is owned by Western Michigan University. 102.9 Channel 275 is WYHA Grand Rapids. They are now part of the Bible Broadcasting Network as of this past July. They broadcast a Christian / religious format with programming supplied by the station's owner, Bible Broadcasting Network. Now, this has been a religious radio station throughout its history. 102.9 was previously known as WFUR-FM. This station was put on the air to complement the AM counterpart at 1570. And WFUR-FM aired on 102.9 from 1960 up until, I said July, I really meant to say May. That's when they sold the Kuipers sold the station. So they were WFUR-FM from 1960 up until May of this year. 103.3 Channel 277, broadcasting in high definition, is WKFR Battle Creek. 103.3 KFR, today's best music. The main FM analog signal and HD1 is Top 40 CHR. And then HD2 is classic hits known as K102.5, which is relayed over translator station W273AR 102.5 FM, licensed to Paw Paw, Michigan, which is west of Kalamazoo. WKFR is owned by Town Square Media. 104.1 Channel 281, broadcasting in high definition, is WVGR Grand Rapids. This is the West Michigan affiliate of Michigan Radio, Michigan's NPR news leader. On the main FM analog signal and HD1 is News Talk with no additional subchannels. News and programming are supplied by both Michigan Radio and NPR, and additional programming is supplied by Public Radio International, American Public Media, and the BBC World Service. WVGR is owned by the University of Michigan. This is the second of the 3 Class B grandfathered superpowered radio stations in Grand Rapids. They broadcast with an effective radiated power of 96,000 watts from their transmitter located in Wayland, which is south of Grand Rapids. Under current FCC rules, if WVGR was not grandfathered, the maximum effective radiated power for this station would be 23,500 watts. 104.5 channel 283, broadcasting in high definition, is WSNX Muskegon. 104.5 WSNX. They didn't list the slogan, but I'll use the one they used most recently, and that's West Michigan's Party Station. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is Top 40 CHR, and then on HD2 is Urban Contemporary, known as The Beat. WSNX is owned by iHeartMedia. 104.9 channel 285 is WBXX, Marshall, Michigan. This airs to the Battle Creek area. They're known as 104.9 The Edge, Battle Creek's alternative rock. This is an alternative rocker from Town Square Media. 105.3 channel 287, broadcasting in high definition, is WHTS, Coopersville, Michigan. Now this is a suburb of Grand Rapids located north and west of the city. It's off of I-96, pretty much on your way to Muskegon. They're known as 105.3 Hot FM, GR's hottest hits. Main FM analog signal and HD1 is Top 40 CHR, and there are no additional subchannels. This station is owned by Cumulus. 105.7 channel 289. This is another one of Grand Rapids' top performing stations. That's WSRW FM, Grand Rapids. West Michigan's Star 105.7, the 80s till now. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is adult contemporary music, and they also play Christmas music during the holidays. And then on its HD2 subchannel is Smooth Jazz. WSRW FM is owned by iHeartMedia. And this is the last of the 3 Class B's grandfathered superpowered radio stations in Grand Rapids. And this would be the second most powerful radio station in North America, as they broadcast with an ERP of a whopping 265,000 watts. Only sister station WBCT is more powerful at 320,000 watts. And this is coming from their transmitter, that's WSRW's transmitter, located in Middleville, Michigan, which is where Fox affiliate WXMI Channel 17's transmitter is located. If this station was not grandfathered, WSRW under current FCC law would be licensed to operate at only 35,000 watts effective radiated power. All right, 106.5, channel 293 would be a competitor to Star 105.7, if you will, and that's WVFM Kalamazoo. FM 106.5 WVFM. Music variety from yesterday and today. That's their general slogan for most of the year. But during the holiday season, they're known as your home for the holidays. Like Star 105.7, FM 106.5 airs adult contemporary music throughout the balance of the year and Christmas music during the holidays. They are owned by Midwest Communications Incorporated. They're the company that owns WKZO 590. 106.9, channel 295, broadcasting in high definition, is WOOD FM Muskegon. News Radio 106.9, 1300 WOOD, West Michigan's news, talk, and weather. Main FM analog signal and HD1 is News Talk, with news updates from both Fox News Radio and CBS News, and programming from Premier Radio Networks, the Talk Radio Network, and the Michigan Radio Network. And then on HD2 is the Talk simulcast of sister AM daytimer WKBZ 1090. This is the Muskegon affiliate of the Michigan IMG Sports Network, as well as Detroit Tigers baseball. That's weekday games aired after 3 p.m. and all weekend games. And I forgot to mention that WKBZ 1090 also airs Tigers games, mainly weekday games that air before 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or rather start before 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Because of their status as a daytimer, they are not permitted to air night games. WOOD FM, which is the FM simulcast of 1300 WOOD AM Grand Rapids, is owned by iHeartMedia. All right, we've come to the final three stations. 107.3, channel 297, broadcasting in high definition, is WTNR Greenville. Thunder 107.3. And their slogan was used by rival B93 back in the day. Nobody plays more country. So country music airs on the main FM analog signal and on HD1 with no additional subchannels. WTNR is owned by Cumulus. 107.7, channel 299 is WRKR Portage. 107.7 RKR, the Rocker. This is a classic rock station owned by Town Square Media. And wrapping things up is 107.9, channel 300, broadcasting in high definition, WMUS Muskegon. 107 MUS The Moose, the Lakeshore's country. On the main FM analog signal and on HD1 is country music. HD2 is Halloween radio. Alright, all jokes aside, WMUS is owned by iHeartMedia. And that was a trip back home to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the AM and FM radio stations there, as well as in Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Muskegon, and Holland. So pretty much the core cities in West Michigan outside of Benton Harbor. So, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell every time I go live. This is Big Al signing off. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Peace out.